That's
live from New York.
that's and Carolina and Virginia. How are we doing that? Magic. But that's a wild way to open up the fucking episode. If they caught all that, that's.
I don't think it did.
It did.
Either way, I guess it goes with this episode together.
My dick is good.
Damn.
Together because
Chris and Mick Doc, they're together.
Oh my god! You're just mad because you're my son and I won't dock with you.
Exactly.
I thought I saw the countdown. In all fairness, I thought the countdown was still going.
hey, listen, it's fine.
I visit you in Virginia because I thought the laws are different there, and you say no, we still can't do
it. All right, guys, this isn't going to be a whiteout.
Yeah, okay, hold on. Okay, let's
save that for Saturday.
That's why I moved closer to be with family.
Sturdy's going to come down in the Pontiac. All I'm going to see is like James on the ground with his suitcase and his Pontiac just peeling out tires in my street and getting out of there in May when he shows up.
Oh, it's gonna be funny though. His brother's gonna call you and be like, "Your turn now."
James is where you live. I got a futon. I'll slip you pancakes under the door.
Making James take the trash out.
But at least, James will be together.
That's true.
You'll be safe.
Just hairy pancakes.
Father and son reunite.
Oh man!
I just fucking segued.
That'd be a hilarious skit. Hilarious.
Listen, we'll be together. Together.
It's true.
Together.
Together forever.
Just like the movie we're reviewing. Together.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's a movie review.
Let's get to it. I know we're running a little late. I had to set some things up. We're running a little late. I had to set some things up. But before we get to that, before we get to the episode, before we get to the reviews and all that good stuff, how are you guys doing? James, how are you doing today?
Doing all right, man. Got some shit done. Even though I'm trying to force myself, not motivated, but I'm getting there.
How about you, gamer?
Oh, he got a haul. He got his fucking makeover today.
Got his hair done.
What you talking about? Why you even gotta ask?
You see this?
One Puerto Rican. Why you even gotta ask? Just look at me.
Look what happened. Aaron, he takes off one day of lawn mowing. No, it's
not that.
I got a hairnet and everything.
You see what happens when Bad Bunny does a Super Bowl? This shit.
Here you go.
He's gonna be acting up this whole year.
I don't know.
We were coming back from getting the hair done. I told my girl, I looked at her, I said, "Yo, play your newest favorite song." She looked at me. She said, "Which one?" I said, "La Canción." She said, "Oh, okay." Threw on that Bad Bunny track. I was dying, bro.
Oh,
I don't know what's going on. Everybody got their glasses on. Sturdy, you look like Malcolm Jamal Warner at the end of the Cosby Show run.
I'm fine with that. Rest in peace.
It wasn't. Hey, I wasn't digging. I was just saying.
No. I'm just saying I'm fine with that. And rest in peace.
James, you look like your father. If your father grew a cool beard, some salt and pepper action.
Okay.
And fucking Bad Bunny over here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! If I tripped, I'd fall right on top of your dick. I know that.
Wow.
I love doing that to you. Sturdy.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
Listen,
it's so much fun.
I've grown up with Caucasian friends, so I'm used to it and all that stuff. But it's still just like these niggas really just say this shit anywhere, anytime.
Just because you grew up with Caucasian friends doesn't mean you had to join Grindr too.
Yeah. I didn't join Grindr, but I listened to your guys' jokes.
Oh, I beg to differ. Let's show.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
But
we're gonna have some real horror with Sir Sturdy tonight.
Whoa. No, we're not.
Where was I?
I forgot what I was going to say.
Huh? We're back together again after a week.
4 out of the 5.
Yeah.
Which hope the professor feels better soon. But
yeah,
man.
Together we hope he feels better soon. But anyway, I'll tell you guys this as well. No wheel spin tonight. And you'll see why. I'm going to show the movie.
I'm glad because I want to see this so bad.
Me too. All I'm going to say is I've played the game.
I didn't play it.
It's an anthology type of game. But again, I won't say anything about it until around wheel spin time. So later on, after we get it through our weekly run, we'll pop it up then and kind of discuss some fun things.
Okay.
But
I would even argue, like, I'm not going to say the movie because I know it's a secret. But if you could do like a back-to-back that and Iron Lung,
Oh, I want
that's
to see
like
that.
that's
too.
going to be like Gamers' time to shine the next 2 weeks because this movie's based on video game.
is Iron Lung out already? Right? It is, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd have to look. I'm
It
not.
might, I think it's on the site, Aaron.
Oh, that's not fucking.
Oh, man.
I love you.
I'm talking about Grinders. He has a video.
Oh,
Yeah,
he had something else.
No, he has a video called Iron Lung.
Keep me out of that. Keep me out of that stuff.
He don't want to get in the Iron Lung tonight.
But the movie Iron Lung, as long as it's out, yeah, I'd be down to review it. If not, can push it. I'll do it later on in the year. But like throw it out there.
Yeah, that's one of the movies I want to check out.
I hope he gets distributing because
kudos
to doing that well with your
Iron Lung?
first time directing, first time writing,
He's
first time
YouTuber.
acting. He's a YouTuber, yeah, and he completely put all the money in.
Shout out to
him
him.
and his followers and stuff. Mark Plyer.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Shout out to him. That's
Give him
awesome.
credit for that.
He's good. He's not the worst damn gamer I've seen, but that's a special moniker that's out there. So
I accept challenges.
it's gonna be Iron Lung 2. Chris and him in the submarine together, just bickering the whole time. It's not a dinosaur, you fucking idiot.
Nice.
Turn it right into a comedy.
Excuse me. Sorry about that. All right, James.
Yep.
Together, we are going to all give our reviews, but one at a time, so not together.
I'm not going to
What?
I'm not going to say why or anything yet.
No. Reviews, no reviews, no reasons.
4.
I know why. Because of the race of the people in the movie, James. That's disgusting. What about you, Mick? That was a joke.
I forget what I gave it in my original review. Go back and check that. But I want to say 6 is where I'll sit with this one. Worth checking out.
Gamer.
I'm right there at a 7.
I mean, I'll say 6.5 because I'm between 6 and 7. I'm between 6 and 7, and I will say this before we dive into really, really get into it. And it had some parts of it that I did enjoy a lot, and it had some parts that made me think of Society.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Quite a few parts actually, and a lot of things in there describing not really describing what was going on, but they're kind of looking around in the cave, and you seen it was like a sculpture, but a bunch of bodies together and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Made me think of the shunting scene. And if you've never seen that movie, I highly recommend it. I know we reviewed it on Sturd-O-Vision, I think a year or two ago.
It's a weird one.
I want to get a few others to watch it, so I maybe bring that one out again because body horror is it's
a hit or miss with me.
I agree it's a hit or miss with me, but I feel like it's one of those things for me at least. The weirder, the grosser, the nastier, the better. Of course, with a good story, but if they don't go crazy with it, I'm like, what's the point? And I mean, whatever direction. It doesn't have to be getting together like shunting or together like this shit, but whatever form of body horror they use, I feel like you really need to go all the way. I mean, look at The Fly.
I'm glad you said that, and I'm glad I didn't when I watched this. Either time I watched this, it didn't dawn on me about the shunting, but I do agree with you that this is like a spiritual connection to the shunting.
Yeah,
in a way. Even if it's just the practical effects that go along, but but if I had thought about the shunting when I watched, when I was reviewing this, after I watched it, I probably would have given it a lower score. Not because I hate the shunting. I keep calling it the shunting, but it's Society, isn't it? Even though Society's fine, it's got a good message. It's weird 80s horror, and it will shock the shit out of you in the last reel. But this movie never came to that shocking feel to me. Everything felt really even keeled and steady throughout, and I kind of like that.
So I watched this with my wife, and she's like really, she's very expressive, so to speak. I don't know how to explain it any better than that. She's Puerto Rican, so if you know, you know.
There
If you
you go. Yes. Anybody who's lived in the city knows. I know.
lived in the city. Chris lived with exactly what I'm talking about for years.
Yeah, but when I lived in when I moved to the suburbs after the city, I couldn't hear the Puerto Ricans yelling anymore, and I could not sleep. That made me feel safe.
Soothing. It was just love. They just talk like that. They weren't yelling.
My family now doesn't even understand why I yell for them.
Yeah.
Like, that's our telephone back in the day.
True.
Was it? Shit. You could be laid down in bed. Come downstairs. Like my mother, I could be laying down in bed just chilling. Give me something to drink. I'm just chilling in my room. You're in the living room. I didn't say that. I went and got her a drink because I knew what the consequences would be, but
Never
I thought about it.
when they call. Never answer when they call.
On your sleep.
Yep.
Well, I'm too loud, man. I was probably upstairs playing a video game or something. I wasn't laying in bed. I was lying, but I was upstairs in my room doing something.
Grinder.
Not that silly. Not that silliness.
This episode is brought to you by all of us together by Grinder.
Not at all. Not
Mike J says
they are now a paid advertisement.
Nah, sorry. I can't support it. Not that I can't support that lifestyle, but I can't support that because I don't live that lifestyle. You throw that to their podcasts.
What's up,
Grinder? If you wanna come out and support the Scene Snobs, I will sure as shit be like, dude, you want to hook up with a dude tonight? Go on Grinder.
I don't want to have false hope or fake image, and I don't want Chris's DMs getting blown up.
I'm not blowing anybody, but if you want to, get on Grinder. I don't mind. I don't care what people do, as long as it's not rape.
That's true.
Or drinking water out of this cave.
Or taking a raw hot dog and
true.
tapping off your forehead.
That one I'd warn.
That is very
I
true.
didn't realize you said Chris's DM's getting out. I was like, which one now I'm thinking about? I was like, wait a second. What's he talking about? Because this ain't popcorn and pints.
Gamer.
I was like, dang, two of them.
You get all prettied up and shit. We end up having a Grinder sponsor. They're going to be hitting you up.
Worst damn Grinder ever.
Don't fuck up the money, Sturdy.
That's true.
We should start a fantasy football league, and the loser has to sign up for Grinder for a year.
Wow.
See, that's not nice. That's not nice.
It would be funny.
It'd be funny.
I mean, of course, you tell your wife and everything beforehand, like, hey, if I lose, I'm going to have this Grinder thing as a punishment. Just explain it to them in case you forget to tell them, and they look it up.
You don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to look through it. You just got to sign up.
You just got to sign up and make a profile.
But they
you got to have your picture like this.
Everything has to be you standing next to a woman.
Yeah, but if you won't watch your wife on the site, or she don't want to be, you know what I mean?
I didn't say your wife. I said a woman of our choosing.
That'd be great.
What if she doesn't want to?
Just use Canva and Photoshop.
It's a good thing I'm just up to shenanigans on my show. You guys are
AI.
Excuse me.
That's the worst part about AI, man.
You can just do anything now.
What?
Like discerning, like if somebody created an account with
I thought you were a different one.
You know what I mean? Like,
Nah, that's fair.
It's like everything has to be defendable now.
I just assume it's AI until they tell me it's
I
not.
do too, honestly, now.
Yeah, for the most part.
Unless it's literally one of the villains that we know that exists today. Then I'm like, that shit ain't AI. They don't know how to use it.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. But together, gentlemen, together.
Yeah, I gave it a 4. It's like it's hit and miss. Like I said, it's hit and miss with body horror for me. This one just, I don't know. It was like a drag, and it wasn't like really scenes that pop out like scariness or something. Oh, because they started making out and they're fucking merging together and shit. I'm like, okay.
What about that scene where they're being dragged together? I thought that was
like a magnet.
Great.
That was corny. That was corny.
And then her having to cut his arm, or cut between their arm and shit.
That was cool.
I honestly thought you were gonna like it because of the build, because it kind of seemed super paranormally. You know what I mean? Like
they leaned that way, but it didn't. It didn't explain what the fucking thing, except for it was like a ritual thing with the there was people there. The one guy tried to explain it.
That's my biggest
like,
gripe, though.
yeah,
and I get why they did it to set up the ending. And I know this is a spoiler show, so I guess we can get into it.
Oh, hell yeah. 100%.
So at the end, they are fully converged. So, like, for anybody to have a little bit of a background, if you haven't seen this movie, you have to accept you guys the two coming together. Like, after they drank the water in the cave, which is a sacred place, which the context clues are all there from the beginning with the melt mind. All I needed was the rats and the cave wall where everything is like sort of coming together.
Yeah.
For me to get it, I didn't need anything else. Like, I feel like they really kind of pushed in this religion sort of thing with it. With the other guy who's a friend of theirs, and he's talking about his husband at the time. But you find out that they merged.
Yeah,
and they were in love. But I didn't need that because you got the context clues of the other couple that rejects it and they can't merge, and they're like basically a monster now, just deformed. So
because the wife. The wife in that, I was just gonna say really quick, sorry, but the wife in that couple died because remember the husband was saying help me, or kill me, and they thought he was trying to go after them. The new couple in this, I forgot their damn names. Yeah,
which you set up fine. Like, there's this missing couple, they end up finding them. They're like, so you could have gotten to the end. You could have done everything the same, but either cut out the lore or added more to the lore. Like the whole town's in on it.
Yeah.
It's this ancient thing that they kind of have to keep going to keep the town alive or whatever, or whatever you write into it. But just to say we came upon it exists and we don't know where it came from, and it's just accepted. Like, either leave me in the dark having to guess or tell me. Don't just like half-ass it, because then that felt kind of stupid.
Yeah. That was one of my things.
And what was the symbol that was on the bell?
I have no clue. Honestly.
No, I'm not sure.
Was it the same thing that was on the bell? You said the belt or the bell?
Bell. Because there was the bell that was down there with them in the cave that he ended up seeing, but then he ended up seeing it in pictures, and then she saw it in the video when they were at the altar of the wedding. And then at the end, when she comes out to meet her parents, because for the Sunday dinner.
Yep, it's a doorbell.
She now has the bell hanging outside the door. So I forgot to take note of what the actual symbol was on the bell.
Yeah. But it's crazy that they have the bell. So basically every house that has that bell, they got merged.
Yep. Yep. And like you guys were saying, and again, for a movie like this, because it would have been more, I guess I would have accepted this movie more, and I'd probably drop my score down a little bit if it had more crazy body horror and maybe a little more gore with it, and preferably, or a mix of both. What I'm about to say here is the story told a lot better. Like, the story actually told. You know what I mean? Because with a movie like this, you have a good story wrapped around this, better writing, even if you add the few things that everyone said and that Mick was saying a little bit ago. This is a really good freaking movie. Even if it's not super, I'll even say, even if it's not super gory, this would have been one where it's like, if someone's like, I've never seen body horror before, and I want to kind of get into it, I still may recommend this, but the story is what really fucking hurts it for me. Like, the visuals, I can deal with, but the story, like, you wrap a good story around this, some sort of, I mean, for one, I feel like they should have missed some signs. I feel maybe people right outside this town know not to go in this town because of that reason of the merging thing. They just say people go in there and they never come back or something's weird, so they just kind of not going in there. But say they ignore all that, they're going to get gas right outside the town. You get the usual warning. There's this crazy ritual, and they just ignore it like people do, and then they go, and then that shit happens. But tell that story better, build it up, even if because you could do that without giving a lot of things away.
Well, I did look it up, and so the bear spiral is the thing you have on the bell, the symbol, and that is the symbol of whatever the entity or whatever the thing is in the cave that kind of does this.
Okay,
but the cult, like you were right, the cult uses the bell as sort of a signal to the people who have they're a cult that believe in this. And if you do, that's why the bell's like on their door. They have it. It's just part of their religious sort of thing. My biggest issue with all of that is you spent almost no time and gave no real explanation for any of this. Those aren't context clues. Like when I was talking about everything else with the couple and how they kind of go about it, there's a lot of context between them. And there's a lot of symbolism between them.
Mm-hmm.
But you left the bells and the cult thing just to chance, like piece it together for yourself. And it's like either leave it out. In fact, take them out and just leave the bells. Maybe they start noticing these bells on some of the houses because the bells also are like on the trail and stuff. So like maybe then they start questioning, what is it with these bells? What is it? And then like at the end, you know, like this guy shows up and he brings them a bell and he's like, you're one of us now. Welcome. You know, or you're soon to be one of us or something like that. And like with a little explanation of like, you have to sacrifice yourself. You have to give to each other or whatever. But they just didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't do that. And it's like, you didn't really give an explanation.
It feels like the script, like they handed the script and there's a whole bunch of pages missing.
Well, there was some trouble with the script. It
really?
was being sued for plagiarism.
Oh, really?
The guy, somebody had, I guess, a similar movie I did not see, which was a short film or something, and he pitched it to Dave Franco and Alison Brie. In 2020, and then filmed it in 2023, and then this came out, and they're saying that the writer of this had what was his name? Michael Shanks is the writer. He said they worked with him on it. Here's where I kind of maybe don't buy that, if you know, speculative. Michael Shanks, this is his first movie that he directed. He has written for like short films and stuff, and in the past, and like a few other things. If they were pitched that script by that writer and it is similar, and then you have a first-time director who comes out and directs this movie 5 years after you were pitched, and he wrote it, that's when I'm like, this is too fishy. Like, had you guys had this idea since 2019 and had registered it, it probably would have been done sooner. This was not they shot this in 21 days. It was not hard to do.
Damn.
They could have done this during 2020.
Damn.
So, and in fact, would have been something original during 2020, but whatever. So I'm not saying that. I'll see what happens in the court case. They'll have all the evidence and such, but I'm skeptical on this.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, they definitely dropped the ball with as passively as they did having Franco just be like, I don't know, there was just some culty vibes down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so immediately as this movie's occurring, right, and they're going into the woods, they get down into the hole.
When they fall in there?
They fall in the hole. They decide, hey, let's wait it out till the morning.
Because the rainstorm.
Because of the rain.
Yep.
Okay? But then morning comes, they end up sleeping in, and then they literally just go, let's get out of here. So why the fuck didn't they just do that last night? Why? Just because they didn't want to get wet?
I know.
Yeah, no, that doesn't make any sense. I'm not sleeping in a cave if I'm only like 5
Thank
minutes
you.
from home.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, let's continue, fellas. Not only did they choose to sleep in the cage instead of climbing out of that cave, they then are in that cave all night sleeping, kind of feeling like weirdness and then like, I don't know, like the cave is full, right? Or there's a presence. But yet they still choose that option. They leave. The movie goes on. Turn of events happens. He ends up back in the cave while she's at the home of the neighbor getting told about the merging. He's introduced and we're introduced to a freak of a fucked up combination that didn't fully merge. But yet they spent their whole fucking night in that cave at the beginning of the movie. So how the fuck would they not have seen or heard that thing breathing? and saying,
These are great questions. These are great
help
questions.
me.
Yeah,
How would it not have gone over to them?
exactly.
Michael Shanks for Grandizer. It is not that Michael Shanks. He's a young guy.
What's good, Grandizer? What's good, Chad?
Hard to argue. Hard to argue, dude.
Yeah, I bumped this down to a 5, and it could go down. It could
See,
possibly go down.
yeah, that's why I was at a 4, because all this I was seeing too, and I'm like,
I'm not going to go down anymore. I stand at a 6. I think it's worth the watch. The practical effects are great.
the effects are great. Yes,
chemistry between them, of course, is great. I don't mind their story again if you got rid of all the cult shit and just like left this metaphysical type of ambiguousness to it. I would have been fine with that, or lean into the cult stuff and actually start telling. But I don't think it took away from their story. I think it was just trying to force an explanation on us at towards the end there.
It should have gave us breadcrumbs throughout.
Well, they gave us a lot of breadcrumbs.
I mean,
they didn't satisfy the breadcrumbs. We never got to the house.
There you go. There you go. That's what I mean. More so, it's more so like when you give again with movies that are kind of a slow burn, but then it's like when you get to that part, it's like it's not worth it.
I wanted to know more about his mother.
Yeah,
that scene was insane. Where she's just sitting there like smiling, where the fucking husband's dead on the side of her and everything.
And then in the cave the second time again. Also, the thing saying "help me, help me." It's got a knife sticking out of the second half of it. He takes the knife. And it's reaching out. He cuts its fingers off instead of just stabbing it in the throat and then leaving.
I think it's...
He cut its fingers off and ran away while the thing's still saying, help me, now with even more agony.
Now, why did this thing fully merge? Is because the other side stabbed him in the neck and killed?
They weren't accepting of it. They weren't.
Oh, they weren't accepting.
But that was the thing; they were at odds too. So going back to Millie and Tim, the characters that Alison, Brie, and James Franco play, they were at odds, right? They had so many things. They did love each other. They were ones that wanted to be together, but they were married couple. They had their issues and stuff like that. So, like, I like that you get the 3 perspectives. 2 people who completely merged and were into it, and that was the married couple, the guy that came in later. I can't remember his name at the moment. And then you have the new couple who's at odds. Now they're affected and scared, and you're going through it and whatnot. And then you have the couple who completely did not merge, and then they turned into like this monster sort of looking thing. So you get these 3 ideas of what's going on, and they do a good job with it. My thing is and it's not even having that extra character there to kind of bring some answers to us. It's the cult thing. It was like you did either give us less of the cult thing and more context clues, or go all in and explain what's going on. Because that's where it really pulls away from me, because it leaves you with so many questions at certain points.
Very true. So very true.
That hair scene was awesome too.
Yeah, that was crazy. That hair scene, that's pretty crazy. What I was thinking too, when Gamer was talking about them down in the cave with the other couple that was like kind of merged. You know, they kind of look like the thing from Real Monsters. But I was just thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, he could have stabbed it in the neck and then boom, it's done. But I'm like, wait a second. If this half of it's dead, how's the whole thing still moving? Like, or is it just the head's dead and the rest of the body's still good? Like, how is it still
just stopped merging once that part died?
That whole side of it looked like it wasn't moving. And if you look at the eyes, it was glazed in white. So it would look like that whole side was like dead. And the other side was the one that was like, help me.
You know what? Okay. I was gonna say, because that was moving pretty well for, but
which makes sense too, because if they did, like, they were in the thing and they were holding each other while they were down there, so they merged real quick and they couldn't get out.
Okay.
So they were just stuck there, and like she probably rejected it and died, and he was
killed
just
herself.
It might have. Oh yeah. So
the knife.
Yep.
The knife. That's right. Okay. Yeah, this movie had so much freaking potential.
So now, sorry, that since we just said that she probably killed herself or he probably killed itself, that's
Or her.
exactly what have happened then right here at the end when they were coming back together face to face and he said his final goodbye and was going to take the knife out and kill himself. That's exactly what have happened to her.
Yeah, because oh shit, the guy was warning him. He was like, just because you do that, there's still gonna be, I forgot what he said verbatim, there's still gonna be some sort of consequence. There's something. And then we finally see what that something is with the other couple. I think one's name is Kate, and I don't remember the guy's name. I could be wrong with the name too.
It was kind of a risk for the teacher too at the end there to slice her arm, because if obviously he did that, she didn't realize he went down the river, right? And she's running, her blood's pumping, she's dripping, but it was a risk on his end because had she not truly accepted it or would have just died from bleeding out, now he would have merged with this dead part, you know what I mean, and been part of that monster.
Yeah, that's true.
And vice versa. So it was a calculation, I guess, a risk that he took that was worked out because of the love that it looked like he thought they had for each other. He knew one of them would want to save the other, and essentially that's what they did. She saved his life from killing himself, and he saved her life from the wound that the guy inflicted to start the process of actually merging.
Yeah. Crazy. That ring was pretty cool too. That was a cool scene. Just ripped their skin down her arm. I was like, that's good
cool. Effects. Nothing wrong with you.
Really good effects. It's just the story. The story didn't hold up. And if had the story held up, this would have been maybe a 7-8 for me. Maybe depending on the story. I'll say depending on the story. But with this one though, because it wasn't terrible. I can't say it was terrible. I can't say the movie sucks. I can give it a 5. I give it especially with my rating scale, a 5 is not bad at all. Would I watch it again? No. Should you watch it? I'd say give it a look.
I think if you're a body horror fan.
Sure. Well, yeah, if you're in the body horror, yeah. And then if you want to start body horror, I'd almost say yeah. Only if I'm just saying just visually, it's not as crazy as the other stuff I've seen. It's not as wild, it's not as gory, it's not as violent. Story wise, it's not that great. It's not terrible, but it's, you hear us talking about it's not that great. But I feel visually, this is not a bad start for body horror for somebody.
Off the top of my head, deep end, you got to go right to society.
No, I mean that's art. That's how we are. That wouldn't work for everybody. And I wouldn't want people to say if they jump into society and that scares them away from it. But then there's someone who would be a fan of a movie like The Substance. You know what I mean? Just because the story in The Substance or something like that. So that's why I'm like, this would be a good one to dip your toe into. And then I don't know what that next level would be, but figure out that next level and go from there.
Anything Cronenberg.
I would say that's actually a pretty good, accurate assessment there, sir, because I'm not huge on the body horror, but I gave it a higher score, despite its flaws and its issues that we just pointed out or whatnot, So I would say
it's a simple body horror, though. This is in a good way. I don't, it doesn't bother me that it's simple. Like, I like that. Still good, great practical effect work, but it's not, some people can't get into the grotesque nature of it. Like some people don't get into The Fly. Fly is a good movie. But like I don't like body horror either. So like to me, The Fly is not one I kind of jump into. I like the original when he's got the fly head, but whatever.
Yeah.
But like a movie like this, you're gonna get some of the body work, the prosthetics, which I think work well. But it's not overly grotesque. So if you're not into that, this might be worth it too. Society? Different story.
Oh, that movie is. That's the opposite. That's the opposite. That's a wild one. But it's fun and it's funny and it's worth a watch if you can stomach it. I guess it's the best.
You got incest and everything involved in that.
And shunting, which if you don't know what shunting is, you have to watch that movie. And you'll know. You'll never once you watch that movie one time. And I forgot who said this to me, or maybe multiple people said this to me. Like, yo, once you watch this movie one time, Sturdy, you're never gonna forget shunting ever. And I'm not.
Here's the thing. In this one movie too, it's called Society. But once you see the shunting, you're going to think the movie's called The Shunting. You're just going to call it The Shunting the rest of your life.
Yep. And people know just, oh yeah, I've seen that motherfucker.
Yeah, they're like, I've seen that. Yeah, I see.
Society. Oh yeah, Society. But this movie, see, now it's cool we brought that up, bringing it back to Together. This movie doesn't have that to where there's something like that just so like, holy shit, oh my goodness, I can't believe my eyes.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
You're not going to remember that. You're not going to remember anything in Together.
Even the part Mick said when they're coming together, like getting dragged on the ground and everything, I was like,
Yeah.
I wasn't so impressed with that. I was like,
really? I
Yeah.
was. I
There should have been more to this.
I
Right
thought
here.
the scene with him in the bathroom where the farther she got away, he's going through the wall, like cracking the tiles.
That was cool too. Like I'm
I
not
thought that
all
was
of them
cool.
are. Like if you look when she gets the nosebleed, her blood is going towards him.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
She should have been in this more. There should have been more about her. His
Yeah, she
mother
was
right here.
crazy looking.
Yeah.
There should have been a lot. I feel like there should have been a little more about that because it almost. I know. I guess they kind of use it as a throw off to make you feel like he had some sort of
Mental issues.
genetic issues from his mother. But still, I feel because that's not normal to just her husband's there like blue, damn near blue. Got rigor mortis like a motherfucker. She's just sitting there like that. Like that. I'm like, that's yeah.
Some people snap, can't deal with reality.
Maybe, but I still feel like there should have been a little more to it. That's all. There should have been a lot more to the
That's
story,
what's missing because I seen that scene. I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool scene. I was like, then they just forgot about it because he has family trauma.
Yeah, they're adding too much in.
It's like,
Yeah.
There's so much stuff they put in.
They added way too much in without giving a good explanation or again a good
for
story
each section they added.
throughout. Like I guess because the bells are so they showed the bells so much and that symbol so much, they should have just went off. They should have just played off of that. Just left it right around that. They finally see this. Hey, what does this symbol mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's just it's just something around the town or whatever. They're bullshitting, and of course, you figure out about the merging later on.
And the guy who merged already, the teacher who talks to her, the neighbor,
Mm-hmm.
he's that part. It's like he tried to explain it, but it wasn't good enough. It was weak. Like a weak, like, oh, it's a tradition or whatever. I'm like, no, I want more detail about is this a fucking god that you pray to? Is this a fucking merging creature or something? I'm like, what is this? Is it like the mushroom spores or something? Like you drink the water and it's taking over your brain and making you do things? I'm like,
I thought they were going to go another way when he had the vision of him in the cage and it was like it was breathing, the cave itself.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be like, oh, he's inside something.
Mm-hmm.
Like the cave is actually like a huge organism. You're inside the fucking thing. You know what I mean?
You know what it was with this movie? It was like a bunch of people had some pretty good to decent ideas, and they just threw them all in there without explaining shit. Like, yo, put this is gonna work. And I'm like, you could have used one or two of those ideas and made it work. You could have even saved some of those ideas for another movie, or somehow make this a sequel or like a trilogy, and then you could use the rest of those ideas that tells the whole story. But you threw it all in one movie and rushed it. And oh fuck, man.
Another thing for me too is, I mean, the acting was fine. I don't have nothing against the acting. Alison Brie, like her in a lot of things. I'm not a fan of James Franco.
That's good because he's not in this.
I mean, not James Franco. You know what I mean? This fucking actor. What's his face?
Dave Franco.
Dave Franco.
Brother.
I'm not a fan of him, really.
I don't mind him.
I mean, he's like a side character. It's like I can't picture him like a lead role all the time.
I think he works fine in this, personally, for me.
Yeah, he doesn't bother me. He doesn't. I mean, he wouldn't be my first choice in anything, but he's
like I don't hate him. It's just everything I've seen him in. It's like he's just like a side character to me. He don't stand out. That's what I'm getting at.
I'm not mad at that.
I dug him for this. I thought he did a good job. I think you're just wrong, James.
You always do. You always go against your kids. They're always wrong. Parents are right.
I don't think we're going to come together on this one.
La 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 la.
Listen, I'm not an overly big Dave Franco fan, so I don't really like. I don't care. But like when he shows up and stuff, like his brother is more annoying to me than he is. Like every time I see, his brother,
Good point. Yeah.
like he at least feels like he should be there. And does anybody remember what he started out on?
Scrubs. His name was Cole.
Yep, it was like
yeah.
kind of the shitty cocky one.
Yep, Cole. I remember. So. Then he was on that the last season. Well, he was on season 9 as well. He was on season 8 and 9, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember from 9. I don't remember on 8 because that was such a terrible season.
Yeah, I didn't like the ending seasons.
Wait, you didn't like 9 or 8?
Yeah, 8 was terrible.
I didn't like 9 either.
Not
the college shit.
Oh, that ending, that finale, man! When he walks down that hallway was one of the dumbest finales I've ever seen.
Yeah, they dropped the ball in the finale.
Oh, really? You agree? I thought you were gonna get mad at me.
I know, right? You're like, what are you talking about?
No. Even though I enjoy the show overall,
the last 2 seasons.
But I know that there's certain seasons they kind of like. What was the lockout season for writers or whatever that was?
It was 2008, so I think it was more.
Because I think that I believe that's why they ended with season. They tried to end it with either 7 or 8, I believe.
Whichever one they did the medieval times Princess Bride type of one episode.
Mm-hmm.
That was on NBC, and that's after it left ABC, which was canceled on ABC, and then NBC picked it up for like the last 2 seasons or something. Or it might have, I forget exactly which one.
Yeah, but there was a writer's strike during when this show was like going on and making new seasons. So like one of the seasons was shorter, and then they weren't sure if they're going to bring him back, and they brought it back for a couple more. But that's your Scrubs information for the night, people. You're welcome.
Hey, Dave Franco's on there. It works.
He is, and Turk and JD were together a lot.
I think they're together more now in this new show than they were in the old one.
They would have merged. JD would have tried to merge with Turk at some point.
Who wouldn't? On Grindr. Listen, you won't be sad when we're fucking tonight.
Whoa.
I'll be good. I'll be good.
I had to scratch my eyeball. Fuck, man. Oh man. I don't have much more to say about this movie. It's disappointing that it wasn't. I'm giving it a 4.5. It's disappointing that it wasn't more. I mean, just more story driven, I guess. Even if you didn't give us the more, because the visuals they showed were awesome, but I wish they would have just gotten a little gorier.
I agree. And, I think that's what was missing for me. You got to give me that shock and all type thing.
Steve, but let me ask you this though: do you need that in all horror movies?
No.
Then why do you need it from this one? And I'm not challenging you. I really want your opinion on like why this one not having it made it worse.
Because it was too. There was like no there's like no like rhythm. It was just like constant story. Nothing like holy shit that scene. What the fuck? Pop out. So like Society. Let's go back to Society. There's a lot of scenes like, yo, what the heck? This didn't have that for me. So that's why I said body horror is hit and miss for me. It has to give me something crazy like, yo.
I get that. And I'm in the middle with that. And the reason why I say that I wish this was gorier was because of how the story was. So I feel like for me, with like James was saying with body horror, I either want gory with an awesome story or one or the other. You know what I mean? Like if you have
and
I mean again, practical effects and all that was awesome in this. I just wanted more gore to it.
I wanted more like
but at the same time I at the same time I prefer a better story. Because then you're really like hooked in, you're locked into it. And then this is a movie you would talk about like at the end of the year, for example. I'm never going to talk about this movie again, most likely, within like a week or two. If that.
Yo, the scene in the bathroom where they got stuck like dogs.
Yeah. Well, so to go back to your, before James had to throw out genitalia, to go back to your other point, I'm only picking on you because I love you.
That's my job. That's my
That's
part.
funny.
That's my role.
That's your role on the show. Harvester sturdy genitalia.
Yeah, that's what I was fun.
That was a funny scene though, James.
It was, yeah, that was a good one. No. So like to go back to me, like the body horror I like doesn't. Not that I don't like grotesque stuff. It doesn't need to be. I actually prefer in body horror is almost like the gradual effects. Like when you watch Scanners, when their heads explode, that's amazing, especially for the time. But they're not always exploding. You know what I mean? So I like the progression of the story that leads up to it. And for me, this wasn't a greatly timed out story. Like the beats in it just don't hit. I don't love all the plot points that they added in that don't really drive anything home. Leaves things sort of open-ended. But I didn't mind the gradual effect of this because I felt like you did get enough. You're also, both of you are very padded when it comes to horror. You've seen there's not much going to shock you.
Exactly.
You see it in a horror movie.
That's fair, but there's still something about like just something that just looks really cool. You're just like, oh shit, like that's always gonna be great.
You've seen it. So what I'm saying is them not doing it in this you might be correlating that. Like, oh, I wish it was more like this, which I get, and I'm not saying preference
makes sense.
But I understand. Like, I don't think this movie warranted that type of grotesqueness over the idea of the more thrilling notion of it, like them getting stuck together, them getting their genitalia getting stuck together while they're having sex. Like that was terrifying. You know what I mean? The ending when they're like doing the dance and kind of growing together. There are a lot of different elements to this. Like, but I love that dragging scene too. You know, that idea of it, like that magnetism that they can't get away from each other. But like that to me was enough. I felt like if you added too much gore, it was going to take away from already what some of these plot points were taking away from was just a good story through.
Well, honestly, that's what I was saying. For me, more grotesque because it's like it's either that or fix the plot points, fix what we've been talking about for this whole episode of. Again, not a terrible story, but fill in those plot points, change a few things, take away some of those or cut some of those scenes where it's just too much dragging along with nothing going on really. Cut that. I'm not saying cut out the dialogue, but cut some of that shit out, cut some of that shit down, and add some more backstory about the town that they moved in, about the symbols that they're seeing all over the town once they eventually do start once we see them first, but once they start eventually seeing them all. And kind of just giving little, even if it's like a little flashbacks here and there to where, but they don't know it, but we do. Just something, one or the other. They didn't do anything with that, and it's just disappointing because again, like how you guys are talking about when he was dreaming about the cave breathing and all that. They should. Why was there nothing? There was nothing else after. I'm like, what the? Why? Why was there nothing else after that? Like, why was there nothing else after that when that shit happened as far as telling the story, telling something of why that thing was breathing, just saying something, doing something besides remember earlier in the movie when there was stuff going down and, what was drinking out? The dogs were drinking out of that movie or drinking out of that water at one point. Remember? Because the girl drew a picture of the dog and stuff. The rats.
Well, actually, you never see the rats drinking out of there, so you don't know why they're actually caught together up.
The rats, I just thought it was a rat king. I thought all their tails were knotted up.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think I just naturally. Yeah, I mean, I do know that what a rat king is. So I never thought of it. I automatically, I think I thought it was them converging.
Oh,
because of that, but I always ask the question. I'm so glad you said that because I missed
realize something.
And it makes sense because it's just symbolism then. At that point. And that
Yeah.
works so much better.
Yeah.
The Rat King itself, if you think about it, it's basically the spiral sun, the symbol on the fucking bell.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Good point.
Nice.
So it's in their house already.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I do like that. I might bump this up to a 6.5.
I might bump this back
I
up
like
to
the
a 5.
little things, man. To me, that's fun writing when you can add those little context clues in there that work and that you can create conversation like this based off that. My problem is that they added too much to explain those context clues that didn't work.
See, and going back to that, I'll say use the symbol perfect because how Gamer just mentioned the rat tails and all that. So they're showing it in different ways. Use that symbol and tell the story. Boom. And I would like this movie so much more. I did bump it back up to a 5 because of that notion. That is pretty
I'll keep in mind.
That is pretty cool.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Again. And then I mean, I guess you could throw in another thing where he was talking about the yeah, you should definitely check it out. Let us know what you think about it. What is your rating now if you could think about it, Paul? Shit, what was I saying?
Oh.
I know I said I bumped this up to a 5. Oh, with the rats.
Yeah, the Rat King, yeah.
Didn't he have something going on with rats when he was a kid?
No, he knows the smell because of the dead body.
Oh, because of that body.
In his room.
Smell of death.
In life. Yeah. So
he knows that
that's
rotten smell.
That's kind of cool they brought. So just how, I'm going to give it a 5.5.
See, I already knew this stuff. It was already in my brain. So that's why I'm still staying at a 4.
So that means there might be a little bit of a clever writer and director and producer than you thought there.
No, it is.
No, it goes as far as a 6 for me. Like maybe 6.
I said a little more of a clever.
A little bit. Like he can write context clues, not a story.
I feel like there was a rush. Okay. Like they said, "Hey, I need that script," and a secretary's panicking, grabbed all the pages, ran, and a whole bunch fell.
And
they just missed. There's a whole bunch.
Maybe he doesn't want to insult our intelligence, and he believes we could make these inferences.
Well, I did pick up things on this go around that I didn't pick up the first time, but you guys telling me this or other stuff that I missed, like it might be a movie worth revisiting it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. Oh, just to see what you missed and shit.
See what you miss and what connects better. Because if there is there just is not a connection with the cult. Like the cult is the outlier in this for me.
Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah,
like everything else is fine, and I don't even mind that there's like a cult. But it was not enough explanation of the cult. It was just kind of shoehorned in, like we should expect it.
It's like the cult has been dissolved or something, and that's why the bell was down there and the altar was down there or something. But for some reason, it's still going on and they're still living. So it's almost like their cult came after they got dissolved, but yet they're continuing their tradition and like you know what I mean under wraps.
Yeah. But say that.
Yeah,
right. That's the thing. That's the thing that bothers me about
so many. Ever anybody or any partakers in the cult, except for in the video of that wedding.
Yeah. Well, let me roll on this because I have to yell about writing for a second in movies, and it has nothing to do with you. I appreciate you pointing that out. But like, if you're writing a fucking movie and you leave things purposely ambiguous, saying they'll figure it out, and you have no direct connection for them to figure it out, pointing and putting together, it doesn't have to be a straight line. But if you do not somehow connect the two, think of it like Lost. If anybody has watched Lost was a huge TV show, and everybody was left unsatisfied by the end. Now, do I think the end was unsatisfying? No. I'm glad that the characters ended up where they ended, but you did not tie on everything together to get us to that point. To the point where we should be dissatisfied. It just ended quickly. Now, there's a whole myriad of reasons for that because writers strike, everything else. But I use that as an example just because that comes off in my head of deliberately adding things and leaving them ambiguous without any true connections. The bells are a context clue that there's something there, but it's not a context clue that there is a cult that is perpetuating this. And that small, flimsy explanation is too loose. If there's a cult in here, you don't have to make it pronounced, but make sure every step, every frame, that cult is there in some way. Not just that one guy, because one guy does not make up a cult.
I got thrown off.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, James.
I thought the one guy. It took it further than that. I thought the one guy was the whole cult merged together, and I thought it was going to continue.
Had to be 2-1.
Okay.
But even then, what would have been cool is like maybe like hey, why don't you come to dinner at my house? We're gonna have people from the town over. A lot of people from the town come over. It's a small town. It won't be too much. And then have them pretend to be married couples. But they don't work because they're not each other's person.
Yeah.
And so you have this couple that's on the fritz, is on the outside, maybe talking to different people, and they're talking shit about others. And it's like, why aren't you with them? Like, what's this about? Blah, blah, blah. It open up questions more and more, and introduce things. Now, if you don't have a lot of people, you can do with only like 3 or 4. Like you just had a scene where they're leaving and you had a huge amount of people talking about love, and we didn't need that. So like you could have taken all those people and like kind of like pulled them together for the other thing. I know I'm rewriting it, but when you're writing something like this and like it feels unimaginative. It feels like you dropped the ball and it was like, you know what, we're going to tell a story, but I don't want to get too deep in the weeds on this. And it's like, get in the fucking weeds.
Yeah.
Love your script. It's your story.
All right, so there's 2 things with both what you and James said. So to the initially what your conversation was, Mick, at the beginning there, off of what I said when you started again, I think it was kind of possibly meant to be as a, hey, here's this thing that's hidden in plain sight. You know what I mean? And like everybody around kind of knows, and they have these symbols. So it's kind of like, hey, there's these things around you that are right there in your face, and it's not hidden. It's not like, and you ring your neighbor's doorbell all the time, and you know what I mean? So it's like, it's right there. You just got to know what you're looking at or realize, hey, it's not just a bell. You know what I mean? I think that might have been some of the purpose behind it. And then James, you had said, the other thing you had touched on too, which played into what James said, with them not giving enough about the cult and stuff. It's kind of like how what you were saying, Mick, that you got to give us that little moment that shows. It's like in the Substance or whatnot, we get that reflection between the old man talking to her, telling her about the experience. Then you get the reflection of the young version talking to her and trying to sway her the other way. This tried, I think. Am I tripping? Did this have a scene where they went to like a home party or something like that with other people and they were telling them like it'll be fine and stuff like that? Like accept it or whatnot. Okay, so that did happen.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, then add them as the cult. Make something weird about that experience.
Yep. But they're nothing. They're all in plain clothes. There's no suspicion about it. There's no any type of outside weirdness other than they know that this is something that happens and they're among the people who have chosen to let it happen type deal. And that's it.
Personally, I think there are 2 mysteries at the heart of this besides what they're going through. And that is what happened to the couple, because we know, we find out, but it is a mystery within the story. This couple is missing. Okay? I would have never made them from the town. I would have just made them hikers passing through and gotten lost. And the reason for that is because the other one that they create this mystery of this cult that they never really deliver on. So you're not delivering on the couple missing. Again, we find out, but there's no real delivery of that. Like, this couple's missing and nobody cares.
Exactly.
That's a question we shouldn't be asking. Unless you add somebody in there that's like, maybe there's a detective in town searching, thinks they're lost in the town or something's up with this town. Create another suspicion. Because now you've added the cult aspect in. So when he comes in and explains it, maybe kills the detective or whatever, and he's like, we got to keep this a secret. So like, that's why we do this. That's why he's dead. And if you choose each other, then fine. If not, it's going to be bad for you. And then now you have this explanation. I don't need any more of that. Okay, now I know there's a cult. I know the bell's there. I know that means everybody who's part of it. But create more suspicion in the town. And maybe add something or someone to draw me into the mystery that connects again that couple and with this cult and what's going on. I'm not saying the cult had to have anything to do with what happened to the couple, but they both exist in this, and we're not getting enough answers. You can make me lower my score to 6 again.
Yeah.
I still think it's worth watching, though. I do think it's worth watching.
Yeah, but like I have nothing really serious about the movie. The movie's fine. I just, like I said, body horror is a hit and miss with me. It has to really wow me to like it.
That's fair.
So
There's nothing wrong with that, James.
yes, there
Not
is.
at all. Nah, not at all. Not at all. I get it. Like I said, for me, if it doesn't wow me with the visuals, not that there are bad visuals, like I mean, with the crazy shit that I like, it has to wow me with the story, and it definitely did not do that with the story. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Our discussion like had they done what we discussed in this movie, it would have made it a better freaking movie.
A mystery.
Yeah, mystery. Yeah.
And add a thrill to it. Like, why is this town? Like, why can he run through this town bleeding and nobody's fucking around? It's because they're all a part of it, but you didn't explain that to us.
No, you didn't.
I don't know. And I get if there's restrictions of like, and you could have even done that. That one guy who's already fully, he and his husband were fully connected could come to him and be like, the town's not going to introduce themselves to you until you decide. Yeah. If you become one, then you're a part of us. And then that's an explanation of why all the normal people in town were there, not the cult.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But like something you could like that's, and if I can for 1 second, because I'm not doing film definitions in history right now, I will say this for screenwriters.
Nope.
Stop coming to roadblocks and writing yourself into we'll figure it out later or something like that. If you come to a barricade, you figure out how to get over it, around it, through it, under it, however you need to do, but make it make fucking sense and fit within the physics of the world you're building. So if you don't do that, you're screwing yourself up. This is scripts you get when it's really lazy.
I really would have loved to see more about why the chapel was underground, why the thing was broken, why it was so corroded and dilapidated, how long it's been there. Because if this guy was merged with his husband and there's a videotape of it, that means at least a color videotape, right? 60s, 70s, 80s, possibly, maybe is how old he could be from when they merged. But if not, still either way. So when was this thing? You know what I mean? Like, and why is it not up? Or why did you not rebuild it? Or why didn't you save it?
Yeah, the Earth is not going to cover it in like a couple years. So they made it seem like a lot of years passed.
I mean, questions, not enough answers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming a lot of years passed, but then again, it's like, how old is this guy? Is he? What's the word I'm looking for?
You didn't realize this thing had a cult in it?
You never seen it.
Oh, yeah, no. If you haven't seen it, I get it.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I thought after seeing it, he never realized. I was remembering that somebody said they'll watch it a second time now, or they were getting curious again to watch it again.
You'll see.
What's good? What's good, Three Geeks?
Mixing things up.
It's not like, honestly, it's not like body horror, like some body horror. Like this is a teen body horror sort of.
Yeah, the substance. Like I said, if you start with this, the substance. It may be a couple levels up. It may not be the very next level, but it'll be a couple levels, quite a few levels up actually with the visuals in that movie. Actually, yeah, in the story. Never mind. Never mind. But it is time for those weekly rentals.
This stuff makes me want to watch The Beauty.
Let's see what everyone rented and what if anything was worth the late fees.
You can start with me because I hardly have anything. I was really unmotivated this week. I didn't watch like nothing. No movies. Except for today I watched for the podcast.
I'll kick it off with you.
All right. So I'm in the middle of Ted. It's me and my wife watch it together. So I can't binge it. I got to wait till when she wants to watch it too. So I watched a couple episodes of that this week. The other one that I seen Donnie Yen, and I was like, "Yo, I gotta watch it." Right? It's good, but it's not like really exciting like all his other ones. It was like something was missing in this, but I'm really picky in this. Nothing's fucking worth the late fee for me type situation.
Can I ask you, since
Really?
you're a Donnie Yen fan, have you ever seen Enter the Fat Dragon?
Yes, hilarious.
Okay. That's what I was gonna say. If you haven't seen
No,
it,
that shit, I watched it like a few months ago. Actually,
It's
that
good.
shit was
It's good.
hilarious. It's so fucking good. I was dying. I mean, it wasn't even supposed to be like a major comedy. It was just entertaining that he was in like a fat suit and shit.
Grandizer. I don't know that one. I'll check it out.
What is it?
Thank you. It's called The Mysterious 2.
Oh no, I never heard about that either.
Check it out. Thank
So
you.
neither one, not worth the late fees for you this week, James. All right.
No. Well,
Happy.
Ted, it's a show, so I don't know how that would work.
Same. You can rent shows on DVD, DVD. I'll say. But
with Chakra, what did you say it was about?
What?
the
What's
show,
other movie, Chakra.
the movie Chakra. He said, "What'd you say it was about?"
Oh, you just made me blank. Hold on a second.
And what did you give it?
I didn't give it a. I get that one like a Donnie Yen. 6.
Okay.
You think
6?
that would be worth the late fees and everything? But like I said, I'm really picky. I watched it, bring it back right away to find a new movie. That's how I.
When a martial artist is accused of murder, he goes on the run in search of answers about his own mysterious origins and the unknown enemies out to destroy him.
There you go. Thank you.
A
lot of fight scenes, of course. That's why I watch him. Donnie Yen. He's gonna fuck someone up, you know.
I was like that.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when he's a Jedi doing it.
That's mine.
Mick.
Okay. All right. Ooh, you mixed them up. Okay. Leave it up for a second. All right. So let's start with Breaker. So Chuck Norris passed away. I'm coming to terms with that because I that dude was my legit hero as a kid, and he just isn't what I consider a good person, you know, later in life, just in his dealings outside. But his movies were fucking great. His movies were great. I don't care what you say, as bonkers as they were, Silent Rage, Firewalker, everything. Missing in Action. Come on. Chuck Norris was the man. I never seen Delta Force. I've never seen Breaker. And let me tell you what, if you've never, Good Guys Wear Black. Great one. Octagon. But Breaker, where he plays a martial artist trucker whose brother gets killed by this small town, basically the clan that runs this town. And they kill his brother because why not? Because that's just, it comes off like very real. Like it's in the 70s. And so you kill Chuck Norris's brother. I hate to break it to you. You're going to die.
Yeah.
It's just Chuck Norris being Chuck Norris in the 70s with his blonde hair. There's so many different elements to this movie that are bonkers. There's like an over-the-top arm wrestling scene with truckers. There's so many things. I say watch it, enjoy it, and you know, as much as I may not have liked him, rest in peace. I still loved your movies, and Walker was fun. But,
yeah, Walker was fun too.
Now the next ones are all new, and I'm going to start with Pretty Lethal because that's the one I like the least out of all these. I will have full reviews of these on the channel, so go check them out, and written on Letterboxd and Substack. Pretty Lethal is about American ballerinas go over to Hungary to perform in some big ballet, and they're representing the American team. Well, their bus stalls out and they end up in like this like chateau in the middle of nowhere that houses like the worst of the worst criminals, and so they're getting trafficked, right? I don't mean to like go into it like that, but it's true. Like that's exactly what these people are trying to do to them. Uma Thurman runs the chateau, and from there it gets wild. They use their ballerina skills to like kill everyone. There's a scene where the 5 of them like tape up like razor blades and stuff between their fingers and in their shoes and just ballet around killing people. The story makes no sense. The asinine accents that they try throughout this are amazingly bad. It's on Amazon Prime, so do with that what you will. It's made by 87 North, who I like because I like their stunts. Very much like the stunts of this. It was a lot of fun watching these girls, like once they were into it, get into it, especially doing the ballet. Very choreographed very well. Anyway, is it worth the rental? Maybe not. You could sit it out and not have a problem. Breaker is definitely worth the rental. The next one I will talk about is Ready or Not 2. Here I Come. I say worth the rental, especially if you like the first one. Samara Weaving is a scream queen, in my opinion. Probably a top scream queen right now. She's in all horror, and it works. I really liked her back in this. Elijah Wood's along for the tow. Sarah Michelle Gellar. So many more. There's a lot of people in this movie. And she has to run from them again in a hide-and-seek match with her sister in tow, played by Catherine Newton, who is also an up-and-comer scream queen. She's been in a lot of stuff as well. I'm excited. I like this movie. I'm excited for the Ready or Not franchise that they're building. And my only thing with this was the first one, the dark comedy hit better. This one, it's just more comedy. And I didn't always need that. But Samara Weaving carries it very well. Her and Catherine Newton play off each other really well. And I liked all the villains. And Elijah Wood, he's awesome. Worth the rental if you like the first one. If you didn't like the first one, maybe not worth the rental. Now, Project Hail Mary. Probably my favorite movie of the year. I'm not gonna lie. I think I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. It can get a little goofy at times. Not in a bad way. It still fits well. And for a movie about the end of everything and having to save from that, and a movie about so much more, it really does carry well. I think it's almost like 3 hours, and you do not feel it when you watch this. I actually say it's worth not just a rental. Go to the theater, see it in IMAX. The scope. If anybody has seen The Martian, it's based on The Martian is based on an Andy Weir novel. This one is as well. He has all like sort of companion novels. They all kind of have similar themes. Ryan Gosling in this, fantastic. The little alien guy named Rocky, who is not a pet. This isn't R2-D2 or anything like that. He is a full-fledged engineer. They're going back and forth, working with each other. It is a beautiful friendship that builds in this, and I love it. But again, from beginning to end, fantastic movie. It should be probably nominated next year, in my opinion.
Awesome.
Oh, nice. All right.
That's awesome.
Gamer.
I'm excited for Project Hail Mary.
Up, good sir.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen. I told you guys, I believe last week, I started going down with Scream because I am highly anticipating seeing Scream 7 soon. So I actually caught Scream 5 playing today on Pluto. So I saw Scream 1 last week. I saw Scream 5 today. Scream 5 is really good. It stars some of the old cast returning, like David Arquette. You have Nev Campbell. You got Sidney Prescott, played by... Who's the one that plays Sidney Prescott? Nev Campbell.
Nev Campbell, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the chick from Friends. What's her name? That plays the news reporter. Courtney Cox. There you go.
Yes, the reporter.
She's in it as well. It's really interesting. I enjoyed this one. It's not my favorite in the series, and it does have its flaws, and I can understand why truists to the original Scream series would have their issues and notions for it. It's kind of a modern-day setting with now the next generation dealing with a similar situation that's calling back. It's kind of a play to the sins of our fathers and how the past can come back to you. It's very meta, but at the same time, me watching 1 and then 5 was really interesting because 5 is basically 1 all over again in a modern day setting, but still it's like 5 is an alternate dimension that knows both dimensions know each other exist and they're coexisting together at the same time, dealing with the same situation. It's really an interesting situation. But I give this one a 7. It's worth a watch. If you're a fan of the series, I'm sure, eventually you're going to want to watch all of them. We're up to 7 now, so go check that out. That's in theaters at the moment. And moving on, it's funny. I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole. a movie came up in the list called Anger Management. And I was like, hey, I'm going to put this on the list for me to watch. Why did this come up in the list? It's because I did a search of, oh, yeah, which movies did Mick Manhattan actually like work in or star in or write or whatnot? And I kind of wanted to see. So that came up in the list, and I put it in my mind, hey, I got to watch this. Let me pay attention for the one scene he's in as an extra, you know, make sure I rep my homie and tell him, hey, I saw you. You know, everybody's looking for that one thing. They do something, they want to be seen, you know? So I went to go get my hair done yesterday, and lo and behold, the hairstylist puts on Anger Management. So I watched Anger Management while I was getting my hair done. That was a great time. Adam Sandler, Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson is arguably one of the best actors to ever walk and be put on a fucking camera, in my opinion. Decades and decades of history. He was in The Shining. I mean, One Flew Over a Cuckoo's Nest. It just goes on and on. He's been doing it for years and years. And if he wanted to now, he could probably come back and show you guys how it's done. I love Jack Nicholson. He played well with Adam Sandler in this movie. Their banter, Adam Sandler's comedy. I love that Adam Sandler and Happy Madison Productions use all of their friends, like the guy who plays Dante in Grandma's Boy and Alan in Grandma's Boy.
He was there.
Yep, we see the guy
he
who
was
plays
at Yankee Stadium.
And Mr. Cheeto, he's in there. I mean, everybody across the board. If you've seen a Happy Madison movie, basically from literally Happy Gilmore to basically like, I don't even know, like the most recent that he's done, he's probably had some people reoccurring. And I love
all the time. Yeah. All the time.
If you guys, just for inside scoop, Adam Sandler was very nice. He was very nice to anybody he encountered. Like, and I was watching because like I wasn't that far. Very nice. Jack Nicholson was really nice. Marissa Tomei, not only amazing, but is even more beautiful in real life.
That's awesome. So. Spider-Man's mom in Tom Holland movies, by the way, folks. But yeah, so for Anger Management, the comedy's great. It goes a little over the top at times, but it's key for its era. It comes from the time that it did. It's putting a smile on my face right now, and I have to say it's about 8.5 all day, every day for me watching it. I can go back to it. Right now, I want to start singing, I'm so pretty. I'm so pretty. So pretty, so witty, so bright. Like, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I love that movie too.
So that one's definitely worth the late fee. That one's definitely worth forgetting you even had there and being like, oh, really? I did? Oh, damn.
Oh, shit.
And then going back right after.
This is funny.
So during the same hair appointment right after, it was my lady's turn to sit in the chair to get her hair done. And she continued the theme with Adam Sandler, and that's my boy, Andy Samberg. This is a great movie. This was probably one of my first introductions to Andy Samberg, and then I learned about like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and stuff like that. And I still enjoy him. I wish I saw him more in some of the things, more recent or whatnot. It seems like he's kind of disappeared a little bit. Mm-hmm. Adam Sandler basically plays a kid who pushed boundaries as a youngster in high school. Was the cool
this
kid.
Was the Mick Manhattan story.
He was the cool kid, the popular kid who ended up seducing or being seduced by his teacher, who, and I'm going to put it as she put it in the movie, when she was on trial, pregnant with his child.
Yeah. Which is based on a true story. Like... It's based on a true story.
Oh, is it really?
That's awesome.
There was like a 13-year-old kid who got a teacher.
He literally said, I'd fuck him again and I'd fuck him until the end of time because the way he made me feel and all that. Dude, I couldn't fucking believe it. I could not believe it. So, but it's that type of comedy. It's from the late 2000s. It's definitely out there with some of the things. It may be a trigger factor for some people. I will say that, to be quite honest with you. Just go into it with a open and humorous view and enjoy the show and try not to let your trigger and your feeling ruin the humor and the laughter and the experience. But that being said, they both work together. Adam Sandler's a big shot in school. He gets his teacher pregnant. Because of that, he ends up getting fame, ends up making money, uses it all, forgets to pay his taxes, and now has to pay off $43,000 in 3 days. And then things go on from there. He reconnects with his son, who his son is basically marrying daughter of a rich baron, essentially in the South or some shit, and things go crazy from there. While he's building the relationship with his son, but at the same time, he has an alternative motive of like, oh shit, he's loaded. You're about to be loaded. I could be loaded. All my problems are cured. So I'm not going to ruin anything else that goes on from there, but definitely worth the watch. It's a good time. I give this one a 7.5. Go watch it.
The ladies who play the teachers in that are mother-daughter. That's Susan.
Oh, are they really?
Daughter, yeah.
Is it worth the late fees or no?
Yeah, I think it's worth the late fees.
Okay.
I think it's worth it.
That's a good one for P&P when we want to do a one.
It sounds it. So, kicking it off with Afraid.
Nice.
And I'm just gonna tell you guys real quick. I had a rough my weekly rentals weren't the greatest. With Afraid, you have your typical friends, which I am gonna point this out. 3 of them were black. One of them was Puerto Rican. And then there was a white girl with them. They stayed in the cabin in the woods. Yes, they did. That's why I was getting to this. But the town that the town that they go to is racist, which you find out there's things that go on that you kind of notice, and you're like, okay, I see where this is going.
Surprise, surprise. We went to a rural area and they were racist.
But like, the cat. So the one of the kids' fathers owned the cabin or whatever and had it for years. But anyway, not a lot goes on story wise, which was very disappointing. The first kill doesn't happen for about a fucking hour.
Damn.
Oh man.
And when you're watching, like, and you guys know I love the cheesy. I mean, we all do the cheesy horror movies, the B horror, all that good stuff, independent stuff. For a movie like this, you want a lot of senseless killing. I don't even care about the titties that much. I mean, if you show them, cool, but I really don't give a shit about all that much. You don't gotta show me that. But to not have like a bunch of, there were some cool kills in it when they finally did it, but it was like, I waited this long for this. Like, it was one of those ones to where I was like, I wish there was more people, because there was 5 main characters. And it was like, I wish there was more people in this movie to where, you know, you have those kill-offs, those type of kill-offs, or whatever you want to call it. But no. Absolutely not.
Was that rip-off Friday the 13th?
Explain that real quick, too, from a writing standpoint. And only from a writing standpoint. Not, I don't want to explain anything else. But, like, if the kills come that late, you have a first act problem. You are overly trying to introduce, and that's a problem in horror movies. Just to give a little more advice, if you don't have your first death at least within 30 minutes, you got a first act problem. You should be smirking this off from the beginning.
Again, the story wasn't good. Wasn't good at all. The acting wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't terrible. Like, I honestly feel I feel like they could have carried a pretty decent story. I really do feel like that, in my opinion. But
and they were all racist. So the racists. So you said it was 3.
No, they weren't racist. The town. You find out that the town that they went in was racist. Because
no, that's what I mean. So it was like you said, it was 3 black guys, a Puerto Rican guy, and a white woman.
No, 3 black guys, a Puerto Rican chick, a black chick, and oh yeah, shit. There was 3 black guys. No. Oh, shit. No. 3 black people, 2 black guys.
Oh, I thought you said guys earlier.
No, I did. I made a mistake.
I was going to be like, if it was all guys and 1 white girl, the town is going to get mad. Like, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right, but they're thinking something's being shot that weekend.
It was 2 black guys, a Puerto Rican.
I mean video.
2 black guys, a Puerto Rican girl, a white girl, and a black girl.
So, but there was just racism.
But the thing is, it wasn't like throughout. There was parts like in the beginning. Well, once they got to the area, to like a little gas station or store or whatever they were at, and then with the police, and then something later on in the movie. But it didn't like. I feel like if you're gonna put that into the movie, tell a story better, kind of connect it better, whatever. They didn't do that. They didn't tell a story at all, really. And I mean, again, in slashers, I don't always care about a good story, a great story, but I'm like, in slashers, I need to see some slicing and dicing. I need to see some slashing and gashing. We didn't get enough of that in this.
No.
We didn't get enough of that in this. And with those type of films, I feel like you need a bigger cast, even if you have them as like a bunch of extras. Because I feel with movies like that, for me, especially when it's this level of film, you need at least 4 or 5, or no, you know what, 6 or 7 just like random kill-offs.
I mean, I can tell, and the reason, I know it seems racist and I'm asking all these questions, but the reason I'm saying this, because if I'm writing this story and you're telling me that this, one of the big reasons is racism, that this town is going after them, but there's not a murder for the first hour, you're telling like that, to me, is fucking bonkers. First off, if you're using racism as your main motivator, as the killer, and you haven't established that this town is in any way has already been doing this for a long time, and why, or whatever is coming towards, what we get to an hour. So basically it's again lazy. Yeah. It's all right. I don't mean to sound like this, but it's almost like a lazy racism in movies. It's like you're not being interesting about it. You're just casting people of color and then saying, and if we throw white people attacking them, everybody will buy racism. That's not, you need a better story. Weave it in better. That's where I get annoyed.
You need a story in general with this, but it's not worth the late fees. Bringing this shit back the same day, and let's see what I did next. St. Patrick's Day Massacre. Another bad one. Another bad one. And so basically, I believe they're from the UK, or I don't know where the hell they're from. I forgot. But they end up in Dublin, Ireland, and they want to learn. You eventually find out they want to learn the history of it more. So, and they end up in a tavern. So they're at this one tavern, just kind of chilling, drinking, having a good time. And one of the friends, some random dude, walks up to one of their friends and is just like, "Hey, you should come to this other tavern. This is like the tavern. It's more authentic. This, that, and the third." And so they go to that. They end up going to that tavern. Come to find out that tavern's haunted. It's haunted by a guy who caught his wife in bed in this tavern upstairs, because this was the beginning of the movie, getting it out with somebody. So he killed them both. And he got shot, and they just left his dead body there, just buried him there at the tavern. So, of course, he's going to be haunting the tavern from here on out. And cool premise and all that, but then it was like, again, about damn near an hour. I think it was about 45 minutes into this movie before the first kill happens. Well, sorry, no. Second kill. Because the first one, how they show like the background stuff or whatever. Yeah. And the reason why I'm saying this though is because the build up to that kill, the story sucked. It was like they had that part in the beginning of the guy, catching his wife or whatever. And then it was like they ignored it for a while until they went to this tavern, but they still didn't really do anything with it, once the guy tells them the story, because he doesn't tell them the story until they get to this tavern or whatever. But they didn't do anything with it for a good 45 minutes to damn near an hour, to where that story really does pick up. And that should have picked up, I feel, as soon as they went to the tavern. They should have been hearing things, just certain things that should have been going on, and it just did not do that at all. It didn't do it at all. Again, the acting wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't the worst. And with better writing, and I get it. I get it, you guys. Especially if this say your first movie, I get it. For your first movie, definitely not bad. But it's just like, take more time with the script, people. Seriously.
Nobody wants to. They want to make their movie.
Take more time with the script and with the story, because with these type of movies right here, trust me, I watch a lot of shit. And I didn't mean that. I mean like the low budget. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way either. I mean that out of love. But I watch a lot of movies like to where it's that lower level, because I love that tier of film. And I can accept, say, like if it's like halfway decent acting and a cool script, and the visuals aren't up to par, but it's still like a cool, it's cool overall, but a really cool story. That is what's really gonna get people to buy into you. Is a really cool story. Like, yes, the visuals are important, but visuals, it's acceptable. It's like we can accept. It's like, okay, you know what? I can accept your budget was this big, so the visuals look like this. I can accept the acting even, because again, especially if you have to pay people, the budget was just this. But writing, lazy writing, I can't accept, because I look at it like, if you want to be a writer in this and you really want to get into this business of making movies, you should bust your ass on every single fucking script that you do. Not just throw some shit together. Just throw some shit together. No, challenge yourself. I don't know enough about it, but I know you should challenge yourself in anything to make yourself better.
I do know enough about it because I spent enough money on all the fucking seminars and college and everything else. And I'll tell you this to add to that, Sturdy. I do fucking say do your work and take your time and do what you got to do, because in all honesty, when you write this shit, it fucking, like, to Grandizer's question, right? How does stuff like this get made at this level? Now, because it's just content farm. Like anybody, people are just trying, like, Tubi wants content. So if you can go out there and you can self-produce or do whatever, you know, they're ready to distribute. And, you know, I'm not against that. It keeps it, you know, indie, you know, keeps things thriving, and you're going to have bad. It is what it is. But if you're striving to be better, read scripts, good ones, watch good movies, but watch bad movies, read bad scripts. But when you do it, because we're all fucking movie critics, watch it like you would watch any other movie. And what would you pick apart in it? So if you're reading the script, you're thinking, you know, because I tend to picture like a movie playing when I'm reading a script so I can get into it. You know, and understand it. It's just more from a producing standpoint. But what are you picking apart when you get there? Like, oh, why is this character doing this? That doesn't make any sense. And does it affect everything? And like, so pick apart your own stuff and make sure you're trying to tighten up any fucking loose ends you can in it, so that way it becomes good. Take things out that don't work, add things that do work. And too many movies don't do that.
I want to add on to that, because it's like the art form of movies before was always trying to create the imagery of these moving pictures to tell the story, and then the story has to back that up. And there was this great amount of work that needed to go into things like your location, your lighting, the camera angle, which lens you're using. Nowadays with technology, that is so much more simplified that we're so easy to get a better quality product. But unfortunately, y'all are missing the point in spending the time where it's really needed, since now you got all this time savings and you don't have to think as hard and do as much because of things being so easily and streamlined with technology and the types of cameras we have and everything. Now start applying that extra energy that you would have been applying to all of these other aspects to your beginning process, your story writing, your understanding, making sure things click and actually make sense. Like Mick said, it's crazy to me that it seems like, again, these farmers are just fine with going, good enough, let's just put it to video. Words are power. Imagery is power. Like, we're putting out all this stuff and it's garbage because we just don't want to take the time to make sure it's locked in first, because now the next part of our creation process, which is the imagery part, it's going to be supportive and it's there and it's so much easier for us.
Now, anybody who's a writer, when I say this, will understand what I'm saying. And I'm talking about a writer. I'm not talking about a filmmaker or a writer, somebody who's studied writing and has done it. And has done it for the sake of wanting to write, not be famous, not be a director, not be a this, to write. And I realize that sounds snobbish, but you know, the problem today is we have movie fans writing movies. They're not writers. So when they're writing movies, they're writing movies. They all they can picture. They're not writing to write. Like, how does this work? They're not. The conventions step out. The tropes step out. Now it's like, well, I like this from this movie. Let's do this. That's why so much. You can go and watch a horror movie today, and it mirrors so many other horror movies.
And this is why businesses and things are structured the way they are, just like with the movie industry. So then, as a solution, then Mick, what would you say then to somebody who has this passion about movies? They have an idea they want to bring across. Clearly, again, and we watched the one from a big name, right? Like Stephen King, where it's like, yo, leave the movie makers to make the movies. Just write the premise, write the story. Let us do our part, right? So what would you say then for a person like that? Then would you say then, yeah, come up with these ideas, write them down, come to Prentice, and start talking to the people that are actually skilled and specialized in that field that can help you? Because that sounds like, to me, stop thinking you're going to do it all. know you got a great idea, but know enough and be humble enough and move your fucking self and your ego out the way enough to go, I need people who are going to make this part as good as it can be. Instead of thinking, okay, I came up with the idea, I can do it all myself. Would you say that should probably be the course of action then? Come up with your ideas, but stop thinking you're going to be the... So in the world of movies in Hollywood, then, in the structure of it, what's the next job? What's the person that he should be handing it off to? Is it executive producer? Is it director? Or just hand it to a writer? Here's the premise, and then give it to a writer.
I mean, if you have an idea and you don't write scripts, what's more tangible? Finding somebody you can maybe work with and work with them, and they'll write the script up, which is, I mean, Orson Welles was a genius, and he went to Mank to write his script. So, Henry Mankiewicz. So, and that's why Citizen Kane is what it is. But the whole point, my point to that is, like, we don't collaborate in filmmaking anymore. And when I was coming up, the collaboration was the key. You collaborate. That's how you make a movie. And when I was producing, I am very much, now I tend to do it all myself because I don't really have a team. But if I did, I would trust them. But my big thing was trust your filmmaker. So if I'm working with a director, I'm trusting you to direct this.
Right.
But you need to trust me as a producer that when the editor's working on it and I don't want you in there, it's because we need to trust the editor.
Okay.
Trust the writer. Make sure you're trusting the people you're working with. And if you see things that need notes, give notes. That's the business too. You do what you got to do, but like, trust them to do the job, that you picked the right people to do the right job and to get it done. And that's not how it is today.
Right. So for the new creator, since it's such a farm thing and people are just putting out all these ideas. So if somebody says, hey, I want to take this seriously, what's the order of people they should be looking for to collaborate with in the structure?
Well, we started with writer. That's what I'm saying. Like, start with writer.
So you come up with the idea first, then start with a writer. Find somebody talented in writing.
If I'm not writing it,
you flush it out. Then you give it to what? A director of art or a director of cinematography or something?
No, I personally would say go to find somebody who produces.
So a producer would be next. Okay, so then it's
personally,
the idea, the writer, then producer.
People don't do that anymore.
And that's what I'm saying. So how do we fix the problem that we're having in this farm thing? If we can tell people,
I'll tell you what. Why don't we talk off? Why don't we talk off air for a bit about this? And and I'm happy to give advice on the next episode. But I want to think about it as we go and like not give the wrong response in the moment.
That's interesting.
I get it.
And I know Sturdy has 2 more movies too.
It's interesting. That's interesting. That'd be a good. Honestly, that'd be a good P&P conversation, especially what we're going to be doing.
Or maybe for the Patreon for that.
I'm down. Whatever you want to do.
Real quick, guys. I'm sorry to do this to you, but emergency thing just came up. I have to go.
All right.
And so
man,
I'll talk
really
to you guys.
shitty of you.
So then we'll let you know what your
help
punishment
it.
is.
I have to go. Trust me. All right. See you later.
Good luck, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Peace.
Sorry we stole your show, Sturd.
No, all good. Because guess what? It makes a few more clips. That's a good ass conversation.
I mean,
like it's what. No, I was just gonna say really quick. That's why I don't like having like a quote unquote timed show, because there's times where there's like a conversation that generate, no matter where it generates. I'm like, I can't let this as a producer. I can't just jump in there and ruin the conversation, because it's such a good conversation. I mean, 3 geeks out there loving the conversation, and it was a good, just knowledgeable conversation to where we have people on here that not only come here to listen to us talk crazy shit, silly shit, funny shit, but and our feelings about movies, but also we throw some education out there, and you just throwing some film education out there. So I think that's always important.
To say one more thing on it, to answer you, since he left, it honestly, Chris, I'm old school. I think you should have a producer on your movie that is not the director, or is not the writer. You need somebody on there to oversee, who knows what they're doing, bring people in that you need when you need them, make sure people get paid the way they need to get paid. However, even on an indie set, and plus, will make those deals for distribution and stuff. So I say, if you write it, find yourself a good producer. Today's day and age, it's usually the writer then directs it, then produces it, goes to crowdfunding, which
That's a lot.
it's so much, but it's also, it's very narrow-minded.
Yeah.
A lot of those movies are so narrow-minded. So, but if you find it, like I've been on sets where somebody's the producer of the movie, but it turns out they're supplying a lot to the movie, but they're running around doing PA stuff. And I'm not saying that you can't do that. Everybody, rising tide raises all ships. Everybody goes to work. But my point with it is, you're not producing then. You need to be overseeing during this, not cleaning up. Like if you're doing the job of a producer, you can't go and do those things in the moment, especially when you're shooting. You're overseeing a lot. So my thing is, people who don't understand producing or maybe are getting into it, or your production manager, you want to step up, you got to have a backbone, you got to step into it, and you also have to have confidence in yourself to take that script and find the right director for it.
So when we have this conversation, I think what we're going to end up doing is structuring in a way where it'll basically like almost bullet pointed or tier the layers to the pie that makes a movie actually come true, with the explanations of each fucking title's job duties. You know what I mean? So that we can understand who's supposed to be in what lane. You know what I mean? Because when everybody doesn't know which lane to be into, everybody's crashing on the highway.
I mean, I can tell you as we go down the tree from above the line crew to below the line crew.
Yeah,
I've worked every one of them. Like in some
be a great conversation. I think that's going to be super vital and valuable to a lot of people.
But I can't tell you in order at the moment.
Because, like you said, a lot of people are just fans. We're winging it. We're writing down these ideas, then we're writing whole fucking things, and then we're trying to grab a camera and a couple people to help us, and then we make the shit, and if it's good enough and it gets picked up and some funding, cool, but we're still winging it. We have no clue.
Well, Sturdy. I started writing my script in October 2024.
Yeah.
And like I could still go back and do some things for it, but I've I'm gonna leave it. I think it's at a good point. So, and that was this year, so like it takes time, cultivate your stuff.
Oh, I get it.
We've probably always lived in this time, but it's even more so because the internet and everything you see fast. But we live in I guess, for better lack of term, I want to be the champion now. I want to be seen now instead of, I should really, really sit back, learn this craft because I want to really do this, learn it, work at it, try to get better at it, and take my feelings out of it. Meaning, say I write something, right? Say I'm a writer and I'm trying to get it better at writing. I send something to Mick, and Mick is like, yo, this isn't that good, man. Don't take that personal. Take it as he knows what the fuck he's talking about. How can I fix this? I mean, let me rephrase that. Let's say with criticism, with constructive criticism,
there would be criticism in it. I wouldn't I may joke with you and be like, "This is dog shit." If it wasn't, but if it isn't good and it needs work, that's the thing. You can't come at it like this is shit. You have to you cultivate it. Even as a producer, you have to cultivate your writer and their imagination, their creativity. So, hey, you know what? I like where you're going with this. You have a lot of good avenues that you're going down. I'd like you to explore, but I think you're missing this, this, and this. Give notes. Explain why in this part you don't like how it connects to the end. And then say, when you go back and write it, maybe try some things. And then their creativity is going to flow, and it's going to go, and they're going to have fun, and they're going to get it done. That's it. But you have to do that's why a producer is important, because when the director's on set, directors are fucking basket cases. They all are. I don't care what anyone says to you and any time. If you're a director, you're a fucking basket case. And that's okay, because you're the creative mind leading this whole charge. And you should be a basket case when you have this much. But as a producer, I should be able to make that basket case coast. Don't worry.
So the director should technically be the person that came up with the idea, you think?
I think if you put too much on a director's plate, If they're the editor, they're the writer, they're this, they're producing that.
Oh, no. But I'm saying the main job of a director is it's best for them to be basically that person that initially had the vision and the idea because they know exactly what they want to come out with.
No, the best thing for the director to be is just to be the director, because the director needs to focus on the direction they want to take the script. It doesn't matter if they wrote it or not.
Okay.
Now director will make changes here and there, talk to the writer, maybe try and change things out. That's
fine, but you have to trust your director.
You got to trust everyone.
Right.
And as long as everyone's trusting everyone, you're going to have a great film set.
Mm-hmm.
Problems and all.
Problems and all.
Yep.
Problems and all. But I got 2 more that I rented, which I will say, I'm sure you guys know this, but the first 2 films, they're not worth the late fees at all. Neither is this next one.
Segue.
Bad Bunny.
That does not look like me.
And it was a bad movie. It was a bad movie. So it starts off with a dude looking at a I don't know which magazine it was. It may have been Playboy, may have been Penthouse, but he's going through these heavyset dude in overalls, and he's sitting in a barn, like just flicking through pages, looking at it, saying the things he's saying, and then he looks over at a rabbit.
Oh boy!
And from what I got from this, I think he got that rabbit pregnant because
oh boy, Peter Cottontail.
As you've seen in the movie cover, the big bunny, right? It's pretty much, it looks like a big ass mascot, like a strong mascot. The teeth are all crazy looking. The nails on the hands are all crazy looking. It's like human shaped hands with rabbit nails. It's just, it wasn't good. Again, not a good story. Not even that funny, unfortunately, which it just, that disappoints me with these movies. And going back to the St. Patrick's Day movie really quick, same with that. Like, I love my holiday horror movies. Just going to that one really quick, to be like really ridiculous and silly. If it's not like a really good story to it, I just want them to be. I mean, I love Thanksgiving. That's not a great story. That's a terrible story. It's a terrible movie, but I love it. St. Patrick's Day didn't give me any of those vibes. That's something I'm gonna forget. Bad Bunny is another one. It's another one, and I know they were trying to. I know what they were trying to do with it, but at least make it entertaining. Give the bunny a Puerto Rican flag or something at the very least. Be funny about it. You didn't even do that. You made a bad movie. And again, with the writing and acting, again, it wasn't great. It wasn't horrible. Actually, yeah. No, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrible. But let's get better with this writing, people. Like I can enjoy bad movies when they have something to enjoy in them. And so far, I'm 0 for 3. There's no late fees this week from Sir Sturdy. Not at all. As a matter of fact, I'm bringing them all back the same day.
Ooh.
And then there's Body Cam.
Sturdy's like, thin
now,
blue line. Yes.
This was a found footage horror film. This is also on Shudder. The other 3 are on Tubi. This was better than the other 3. Quite a bit better than the other 3. It was, so basically you have 2 cops, hence Body Cam, they're partners or whatever, and they have to go check out a domestic violence dispute. They get to the house seems like it's empty, they hear some things, one goes upstairs, one goes downstairs. The one cop goes downstairs, and he sees a guy down there, like staring at the wall. The guy turns around, starts coming towards him. And he's, stop. He pulls his gun out. Stop. And of course, he shoots him. A cop upstairs sees a lady, and she's like standing there, and she like slices her throat or something and drops. So he just panics and runs. And he also hears, no, she didn't cut her throat until she got back downstairs to the basement. Sorry. But no, he hears the gunshots and he runs downstairs to his partner.
What the fuck is going on right now?
Listen. Hear me out. So he runs downstairs to his partner after he hears the gunshots, right? And his partner's, trying to cover. He wants to cover it up. Long story short with that. Lady comes down. She sees what happened. She slices her throat, takes herself out in the basement in front of the cops. So, of course, the one cop wants to cover everything up. One cop wants to just turn it in. Hey, just be honest, let's turn it in. The other cop wants to cover everything up. tries to cover everything up, and a lot of stuff goes crazy in this town. Of course, there's no like, I guess there's no warnings about it, but I guess there doesn't really need to be as far as like what goes on in this town. It's like I don't know if it's a possession or what, or demonic shit or what. But again, this was better than the other ones, but it was like a halfway decent movie. Another one that's not really worth the late fees.
This one was the better one, and you gave us nothing about it.
You talked about this movie for 5 minutes and then said it's not worth it.
It's not. It really like because you know what it is. Because I'm thinking about it, and there's nothing that really like stands out. Because I love found footage. There's nothing that really stands out that's like, yo, go check this one out. Yeah, fuck it.
There's your clip. It's a 5-minute clip of you explaining body cam for us to be like, what the fuck happened in this movie?
It was again. It was just one of those. It was okay. It had its parts. I can't really remember them right now either, and I'm a little tired.
Oh my God! Stop talking about this movie. I want to talk about St. Patrick's Day Massacre again.
Nah, fuck that movie. Fuck that movie.
The explanation for that was so much better than this one.
Well, I've seen that one. I watched that one today. I literally watched that one today.
All right, fair.
Body cam. I think I watched Friday or Saturday, maybe Sunday.
Well, I'm glad we could get together.
But hang on, we're not done yet. Got one more important thing. You guys notice there's no wheel spin tonight.
Yeesh.
But
Yeah, are we doing tomorrow or next week?
Mortuary Assistant. It's coming out Friday on Shudder. This is also a game. This is also a video game. This is the game that I think I told you guys about it a while ago. Me and Henry used to play this game a lot. And one night I was so high playing this shit with him that I thought I was his character. So every time I tried to move, I was looking at his character and wondering why I wasn't going in the direction it was going in. So I thought something was wrong with my controller.
What is that?
I'm telling him, like, yo, I'm like, my character's not moving. I was like, every time I go left, it goes this way. Every time I go right, it goes this way. Whatever the case may be, right? And he was like, yo. He was like, that's me. He was like, your character is way over there. I was like, oh. But yeah. So but I seen that. I gotta see the game now. Or I gotta see the movie now. But fun game. Very fun game. Definitely check it out. It's an anthology. And it's one of those like game. Have you ever played one of those games to where you're like walking around in the game and then like the story goes in the game, you push like up, down, left, right, or like an action button, and then something goes on and the that little cutscene type of it's one of those type of games.
Okay.
And there's at least 4 of them. And that all the stories kind of connect. The thing that sucks about it is once you finish the one, you got to get the next game. Like once you finish the one story of it, you got to get the next game. But it was like a cool story, and I believe if you have like one of the PlayStation Plus levels, one of the higher levels, I think you can get them all or like play them all, like stream them all or whatever.
Gotta catch them all.
What generation of game was this on?
P4.
Oh, it was on the P4?
Yeah.
Oh, I never heard of this. Okay.
Yep.
So is it like jumpy scary?
I thought this was like a PS2 game or some shit.
I feel like it had a few parts here and there, depending on where you were in the stories.
I just want to look for a new jumpy scary game to play.
But it was a fun game though. It was definitely a fun game, and I'm hoping it's a good movie. I'm really hoping it's a good movie, but I guess we'll see next week. Make sure you guys check out Worst Damn Gamer Ever. Make sure you guys check out the Scene Snobs. Make sure you guys check out Fade Theory. And make sure you guys are here Saturday for Popcorn and Pints at 8 o'clock when we review Inception and Tenet.
Ooh, I'm so excited. Dude, oh my God. Just a little sneak peek. Tenet. First of all, Inception, 10 out of 10 film for me. So, like, I have so much to say about that movie. I can't wait. That's how you write a fucking movie. Now, Tenet. I think I might have stumbled upon the secret of why Tenet is so brilliant and why it works. And why most people might not understand that. But I think this group who took a journey on another franchise will understand it when they watch it. And if they don't, I'll explain it to you on Saturday night.
He didn't explain it either way.
Nope.
But yes, I'll be there for that. And again, we reviewed together. If you guys want to go check it out, you should check it out. It's worth a one-time watch at least. I'll say that. It's worth a one-time watch at least. And make sure you're here next Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern time for the mortuary.
For more R.
They know. They know they're going to come see the mortuary assistant, or they're going to see the review of it. You got to watch that on your own, though. Right here. Sturd-O-Vision on YouTube, Horror with Sir Sturdy on all your audio platforms. I'll see you in your nightmares. Peace.